Alright, hey, it's Matt, BlindGuysGarage. And today, we have the LS motor back in the shop. The one we just tore down on the channel. So, we're going to put it back together. As you can tell, we've already painted it. That's done. We've already cleaned it. That's done. So, this will probably be just a quick assembly and all. You know, assemble it. Anything we typically don't show on the channel, I'll show you. And most of it will just be kind of ins and outs and get it done real quick. So, we'll start here, and by the end of the video, we'll see a finished product. So, bring it back. All right, we've already done it all once, but let's do it again just because it was a day ago. All right, let's lay the crank. Feels good. Now we'll start putting caps on, and we'll bring it back as we check clearances. All right, and as you'll see right here, here's our plastic gauge. I don't know how good it'll be seen in the camera. Here's our mark on our plastic gauge checker, and it's right there, real close to that 015 mark. Maybe a hair bigger, so we're good. Let's check the next one. All right, set the crank thrust. That's it. Torque them down, 15 foot-pounds. And then we'll come back and torque the rest in a second. $15. $15. And 15. Now, always give her a spin and make sure she rotates. As long as she rotates, you're good to go. Go to the next one. All right, and there's our line. Let's line this thing up real quick. This one's going to be closer to that 20. 15 fits pretty nice. 20 be all right. So this one's between 15 and 20. All right, we're going to quickly torque the mains. I've already torqued them once. We're just going to go over them real quick. You torque them at 15 on the outers, 15 on the inners, and then we'll hit them again at 80 degrees on the inners and 50 degrees on the outers. Here we go. Torque wrench is off again. All right, now I know I didn't torque them in order because I wasn't really caring at that point. I just wanted to hit them all. So now what we're going to do is we're going to do 15. Everybody's torqued at 15, and we're going to do 80 degrees. I don't use an angle gauge. I do own one, but 80 degrees is a hair less than 90. So let's go for it. Here we go. And every time you torque one, torque a cap, grab that crank and roll her. You know it's good. Now let's go to the next one. Alright, that's it. Now we'll do the outer bolts at 50 degrees. This is hair over 45. So, I mean, that's the way I do these. I'm sure somebody will like it. But, as everybody knows, I don't read the gauge very well. So, we'll start here and we'll go for it. Hair over 45. Here we go. Hair over 45. All right, bottom end's torqued up. Now, I know I said spin it after every one, but since we torqued all these, everybody should still be free because I spun it after torquing every one of these caps. So let's see what happens. Still good. All right, so now here's what we got to do for this motor now. This is a DOD motor, obviously. So what we're going to do is we're going to block off the DOD ports. I use these little plugs. Got darker in here. I use these plugs. They do simple. They just sit in the hole. Push them down as far as you can. Take your little hammer. A little bit farther. That's it. Done. Sweet. Simple. And they're threaded. So if you ever want to get them back out, Let's see if I'll pull another one out of the bag, because I'm dumb. Didn't show you all that. And they're threaded, so if you ever want to get them back out, you put a thread in and pop them out with a slide hammer. Work pretty easy, pretty gentle. Like I said, set them in. Done. Plug them up. And here is our BTR Stage 2 truck cam. We're going to go ahead and install this baby. Nice and easy. A little bit of assembly lube. Make this quick and easy for us. Alright, put a little bit right there. Kind of rub that down these little guys right here. There you go. And everything should, in theory, go right together. Alright, we're going to stop right here. I know. And we're going to put just a little bit more on this journal before we go in. Okay. Now we're going to start feeding her in from right here, but I'm going to go ahead and wipe the camshaft down with some assembly lubricant. My bottle's a little low, so forgive me on that. Taking a minute and all to get all this stuff out of here. This will be the last time we use this bottle. Uh-oh. And we're out. So now, grab our camshaft, kind of lube her up everywhere, and we'll set her in here. So just grab it right here just like so. Be gentle with it. Don't force it. It will go. Alright, now here's the part that a lot of people freak out about. What you'll do is you'll gently rotate it, and it'll fall in on its own. Don't put a lot of pressure on it. And then on the LS motor, you can just reach in the back side of it and pull it right in the hole. And there it is. Cam's installed. Alright, so here we are. Now we will check this guy right here. Look here. We got notch to dot. That's what we set it up as. 3-bolt gear. We only use 1 bolt in the towel pin just to line it up. Everything will work just fine for that. And that's where you set your timing chain up. So now I'll bring you back for the DOD side. See these 2 bolts right here. We'll put this thing factory has a timing chain with a guide and all that kind of puts pressure on it on the outside of it, kind of like that. But we're just going to do we're going to delete all that, putting a modern style chain back, or old style chain back in it, call it a day. So here we go. And one of the last things we'll be doing, finish this DOD setup. As you can tell, I've already replaced this plate back here, which is good. Make sure you always replace that plate, the gasket, if you pull the camshaft, because there's a gasket on the back that is very important for your oil pressure. So now what we're going to do, take this guy right here, set it up, and we'll have to walk it around until we get her lined up, because we know the cam and the crank are lined up currently. So once everything falls together, all you gotta do is put this 1 bolt in right here, bolt it up, make sure the cam didn't push out the back, and she should be lined up. Get you a good close-up shot. There you go. She's good. We'll tighten those bolts up in a minute. They're not that important at this particular second, and I'll show you what's next. Alright, since we're deleting the factory guide out of it, we're going to replace it with this guy. It'll just kind of go in here and sit betwixt everything and keep pressure on the chain the way it belongs to make sure that we don't do no chain slap in it. We'll run these bolts all the way in, and we're going to make sure that they won't bottom out into the crankshaft before we do anything, because that is a very high possibility when altering stuff. And if they do, we have the original bolts that came out of the original guide right there. So give me a second. Alright, we'll tighten these up. Wrong size. Alright, we'll try it again. Tighten these up. Alright, the guide doesn't move. Now the question is, does the crankshaft turn? It does. Now we got to tighten up tighten this guy up. So let's go. Alright, and it's oil pump time. Now I always disassemble these, pack them full of Vaseline, and then put them back together. So we've already done that, except for I'm gonna have to stop and take that balancer bolt out. Bring it back. Now let's install it. So this thing should slide right over. Gently kind of work her around just a little bit. It'll fall right in, and there it is. Kaboom. No silicone, no nothing. And we'll bolt it up. 4 bolts. Done. And now the front of the motor's together. Let's finish the rest of it. All right, this is a new set of lifters. Customer supplied them. I don't know anything about this brand. These are Michigan Motors or something. They are Michigan Motorsports LT1 and LS1 lifters. So we'll use them. He supplied them. This is what he wants. All right, and the final step on your DOD Delete is lifters. So now, what we're going to do, we've already installed some of them. We'll split the bag open. And we'll just replace them with standard lifters and new lifter trays. Pretty easy. Except for the fact I can't hold the box and all this all in one hand like a moron. So now we're just going to do it like I normally would. There we go. Set them in there. Just like that. Just keep going. And we'll have 4 lifters in here. And this, now we no longer have DOD lifters. All you do, take them, roll them over, gentle them in. They should hit the camp. They should hit there nice. If they don't, pull them out. Double check you weren't stupid, which I know I'm not. Okay, that's not true. I know I am. Realign all the lifters. Line them up real good. They'll fall right in. And just walk them in. There it is. Put the bolt in her. And that's it. And now, everything DOD left on the motor is gone. All right. Well, we got 4 pistons knocked in. Got all the bearing measurements taken. I'll post those in pictures. I didn't do it on camera. But we're anywhere from 15 to 20 thousandths. So perfect for me. I like it. Some people want tighter, some people want looser, but I'm going to be 15 to 20 on these LS motors. Factory calls for, if I recall right, 11 to 25. So that's it. I'm good with 15 to 20. So now we're going to knock in a piston like we always do, and then I'll go back to putting it together without y'all. So bring y'all back in a bit. All right, first thing we're going to do, we're going to disassemble the rod, like always. We've already bearinged it, so almost kind of tight. Yeah, we've already bearinged it, so that's it. Stick the bolt right there in that dowel pin. Put a little bit of juice right here on the bearing. Boop. And we'll come to the side. Put a little juice on the skirt. All the cylinder walls are pre-oiled, so we're good there. Rub that on the skirt. Roll it. Rub it on the other skirt. Dot on the LS motor goes to the front, and all the keyways go to one side. That's that side. So we'll set her in here. Grab the ring squeezer, which was off camera. Like so. All right, and if you did your job properly, all you should have to do is go. There it is, installed. All right, we're working right here on the #1 journal. We'll reach in here, grab the rod by finger, and pull him on down into the journal. You have to kind of straighten him up as he goes around the journal right there. There it is. Now we'll reach up here, we'll grab our bearing cap, a little bit of oil on the bearing right there. As I said, we've already measured all the journals. I haven't measured every rod, but I've measured every journal. Keyway goes to the driver's side. Run them up by a finger all the way up. You'll know that the threads are good this way as well. Grab a torque wrench. And we're going to set her at 15. She's actually preset at 15. So now we'll torque it at 15. 15. Oops. All right. And then 85 degrees. This is a second generation rod, so almost 90. $85 degrees. Rod's torqued. All right, well, now I'll bring you back for the next part. So got 5 rods in the motor. I'll knock the other 3 in and call it good. So bring you back in a bit. All right, so now we're doing valve springs. So we're gonna run through a couple valves real quick. Turn that radio off before I get in trouble. We're gonna run through a couple valves real quick. What? Turn off. Thank you. So here we go. I use a pneumatic valve spring compressor. Pretty nice guy. He works good. He's older than all get out. Been around for many years. Been used by many engine builders. So we'll lay him up here, get him set in place, put it against the bottom of the valve, and then start compressing. Now, the head of this thing is worn out. If you don't hit it just right, it ain't gonna do nothing. Actually, it's gonna do really bad things. It's not that it's not gonna do nothing. See right there, it's trying to hook the valve, the compressor, the spring, I mean. Ugh, keeper. There we go. Now we'll bump it down a little farther. We'll pull that keeper out. We'll attach it to the magnet. We'll have to pull the magnet out to get to that other one. There it is. Now we'll ease the pressure off. Set the spring compressor back down. Old valve spring off. New valve spring. We'll use the original retainer, and then we'll use the original locks. And now, we gotta go back together. Same thing. Sorry about the air compressor. We're working with air tools, so unfortunately, it kind of is what it is right this moment. All right, we'll squeeze her down. I didn't hook it in the right place, so let's let her back up. Now let's try it again. See if it'll do what I want it to or not here. Well, we'll see. Here we go. Going for it. Squeeze her down. And we'll reach over here and we'll grab the first keeper. And we'll spin him around over there to that side of the compressor. Like so. Grab the second keeper, and we'll drop him in right here just like so. Uh-oh. Have to go down just a little bit. Come on. There it goes. Oh, I let off pressure too fast, but we're good. There it is. Now we got one valve done. When you're done with it, you take your little hammer, keep the eyeballs out the way. She's good. Now the next one, and per the usual, brand new O-ring going on. I like to show this to make sure that everybody understands that I like to replace these. There's that damn air compressor again. All right. So now this guy will slide right up in there. See if we'll. Oops. Nice little firm fit, just like that. All right, there's that, and that. Oh, wrong hole. And this one, and this one. We'll tighten all this stuff up. Won't take but just a second. That's an 11. I need a 10. Where's my 10? Where's my 10 at? Somebody's hiding my 10 from me. There it is. It's under my camera. All right. Then we'll zip him up. There it is. done. All right, cylinder head time. And that's all the way to show you on these LS motors. Looky there. The last set I showed you didn't have it. Front. Let's go to the other side. Can anybody read that? Front. Yay. All right, so we already know our gaskets are proper. So now, let's put some heads on. I'm only probably going to do one on camera, and then I'll show you it finished after that. So, bring it back in a bit. All right, now it's time to put the heads on. Yes, it's a different day because I had to order head bolts because they didn't come in the kit that I ordered. Isn't that nice? And then I had to wait 2 days for them to get here. So, let's jump into it. All right, as per the usual, we'll put one head on. Head gasket's on correctly. Front. Front. Our head's been shaved. It's clean. Let's install it. So, should just lay right up here and drop right on about perfection. There it is. Now we'll drop all these head bolts in place because after you drop a couple of them, we'll be good to go. And I'm only on video doing one head for y'all, so you don't have to wait through all this nonsense because it can be quite annoying. And very, very, I guess the word is repetitive. Bring your head bolts, throw them to the floor. Do what they say. Not my head bolts. Alright, now I'm going to do that thing that everybody hates. I do it all the time. So, I'll stop now, right? Alright, now we'll torque them. Bring you back in a second. Alright, head torque specs is 22, and then 90 degrees, and then 70 degrees. So let's start with 22. All right, everybody's torqued to 22. Bring it back for 90s. All right, 90 degrees. All right, that's another 90. That's 90, I mean. So now I'll go ahead and do 70. I don't think y'all need to be in here for that. So we'll do another 70 on that and bring you back when we go to put the other head on. Probably not going to torque it in the camera frame. So bring you back in a bit. All right, time to install this head. Now, I'm going to pick this gasket up for y'all real quick so y'all see it. Front, right here. You'll see me lay it back down to the front. That's how it goes. Now, cylinder head install time. Should just set up here nice and gentle. Well, except for the fact I'm not even close to where it belongs. Isn't that nice? There it is. And as I say normally, you just drop a few head bolts in and the head ain't gonna fall off. And that's it. This thing's pretty much set now, and the rest of it is just put it together. $22. 22. 90. 90. 70. 70. All right, now we're installing our brand new push rods. I just push in, and the way you know you're in the hole, push down on it, and the lifter will click. And that tells you that you're doing your job. As long as the lifter pops, you're good. There you go. I'll do that other side real quick. All right, now we're putting this side together. So what we do, or what I do, is I take the oiler and I'll give her a couple good pumps down the push rod on every push rod. Just like so. And I'll come over each valve stem right there and oil the tops of every valve stem. Oops, I missed that one, didn't I? Trying to keep my big ass head out y'all's way. Alright, then okay. Now what we're gonna do, we'll get the rocker arms. Alright, so now we have the rocker arms, which are still sitting on the shaft that they came off of. Exactly. All we'll do is we'll set these babies on place into the holes they should belong to. And we'll start every one of them. Okay, now we've started them all, so what I'll do is I'll go in and put a squirt of oil on each side of the rockers, just like this. Make sure the bearings have adequate lubricant, as these are little roller bearings, and then we'll zip them up with a zap gun. All right, now we'll pull them up with a zip gun, paying close attention if the rocker arm doesn't shift off sideways. All right, now we'll put a ratchet on it. All right, so what we'll do is we'll go back through and crack every one of them, just crack them loose. All right, now we'll come back through and kind of torque them down to about 22 foot-pounds. I'm not going to use a torque wrench, just feel it out good, say that's good enough, because 22 foot-pounds is nothing. But it's more of a, you know, everything's right this way, and yeah, that pretty much covers it. All right, there they are. Now I'm gonna go over them one more time to make sure I didn't miss one. All right, after retorque, we're good. So now the heads are bolted on and torqued down. You got the front steam pipe on, which I didn't do on the video. These heads had little steam plugs in them from the factory right here, but I guess the machine shop knocked them out and didn't put new ones in. So I had these laying around, so we're still good. And then, yeah. So I'll bring you back once it's finished. I mean, what's really left though? Put the valve covers on. So bring you back in a bit. All right, well, we got her all assembled, taped up. As you can see, we've taped up all the ports on her. Only thing we got left is to tighten the rear cover, which I've ran all but a few bolts up. So we'll double check them before he picks it up tomorrow. Actually, we'll double check it while he's picking it up tomorrow. So that's it. We got the water pumping all forward as well, but he wants to replace it, and he told me not to worry about getting one. So okay. All right. But for now, I guess that's it. As always, like, share, comment, subscribe, and we'll catch y'all in the next one. Hope y'all are enjoying it. Later.